He's the face of one of the most profitable movie series of all time. Between the box office success and the amount of merchandise that can be cranked out from the release of a Toy Story movie, it would be no surprise that Woody the Toy Cowboy is still fresh in our minds. But fans can never let a series sit without poking and prodding to pull out material that was never intentional, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here today. Hello, Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chade Arena, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 scary Woody theories. For all of you at home who are interested in grabbing some merch, you should check out the link in the description below and use the offer code MA10, which will give you $5 off. And make sure you stick around until the end of the list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have Woody broke Sid. Anyone who has seen the original Toy Story movie will remember Sid. He was the deranged kid next door who probably needed some tender love and attention from his parents but never got it, so he turned to dismembering toys and rearranging them into monstrosities for his own pleasure. In his defense, he never knew he was tampering with something that was alive. When Woody finds all of the toy monsters in Sid's house, he eventually gets them to team up and confront Sid in something that probably broke his psyche and left him medicated up to the gills. We don't know what happened to Sid after this encounter with the living toys, but I can't imagine he was comfortable walking into Al's toy barn. Being around action figures would probably give him a panic attack, and on top of this, no one would ever believe him unless someone else saw the same thing. I'm sure if this experience happened to Sid, then there would have to be at least one other person in the Toy Story universe who had seen these toys come to life. Now you have an underground movement of conspiracy theory weirdos who are trying to convince the world that toys are alive. And the craziest thing is that they would be right. So even though Sid was a messed up kid, Woody made sure that he stayed messed up for the rest of his life. Coming in at number 9, we have Woody never wanted to be rescued. In Toy Story 2, we have Al from Al's Toy Barn kidnap Woody and take him to a private collection. This leads to him finding out that he's actually much more famous than he ever would have believed. This is a very Finding Sugar Man scenario. After this is revealed, Woody kind of falls in love. He gets a horse who becomes one of his best companions, and he makes you ask the question, was he happier there? Maybe there was a little piece of Woody who would have liked to stay a collectible. I mean, he would have had to abandon a lot of his friends and taken up a whole new life. But remember, this movie started with Woody having his arm torn and being put on the shelf and forgotten. When he gets kidnapped by Al, he gets his arm fixed and then introduced to a bunch of people who are willing to treat him like a king. There might have been a part of Woody who wanted to say goodbye to his old life where he was literally treated like trash, and hello to a new beginning where he would be royalty. Coming in at number 8, we have Leader of the Spies. Here's something very strange about Toy Story. If we cut back to the original movie and freeze frame on the scene when it's Andy's birthday, we might find something a little weird. When you have a bunch of kids running around at the bottom of the stairs, you will find that all of Andy's friends are the exact same kid. They are all copies of Andy. Now, why did this happen? Well, it's definitely to speed up the production of the movie. Making character models is taxing and takes a good chunk of time. It wouldn't make sense to have a bunch of unique models on screen when you're going to see them for a fraction of a second. But fans have run with this and made claims that these are in fact real clones of Andy, meaning that Andy and his family live on an experimental military base where cloned families live and interact with each other like normal people. Where do Woody and the rest of the living toys work into this? Well, they are all spies. They are robotic infiltrators implanted with artificial intelligence that have one purpose: to spy on all the clones so the government can see what's going on when they think no one is watching. And Woody is the leader of all these spies. Buzz would be second in command. Coming in at number 7, we have Woody is a nihilist. What is a nihilist? Well, it's a belief system that basically says nothing matters. Nihilists believe that there is no God, there's no afterlife, there's no meaning to anything we do. It's basically like being an atheist, but with more frowning. Now, in the original Toy Story movie, the relationship with Buzz and Woody is one where Woody is trying to convince Buzz that he is just a toy, that his interstellar quest is not real, and that the only reality is to be played with. It seems like Woody, although he has a cheery disposition, has come to terms with the fact that life could have nothing at the other end. Coming in at number 6, we have Woody is immortal. The Toy toys in Toy Story are indeed alive, we can all agree with that, but most of them are just huge chunks of plastic, and plastic doesn't break down that easy. Just ask the massive trash island that's floating in the ocean. Last time I checked, it was the size of Texas, and we're all going to die. Now, if they are indeed alive and their bodies might never break down because plastic takes forever to decompose, as time moves on, we will only come up with better ways to take care of toys. So there's a good chance that Woody could live forever. Coming in at number 5, we have Woody is the reincarnation of someone incredible. Where does the consciousness for these toys come from? I don't think toy spirituality will ever be answered within the Toy Story movies because that's a pretty heavy concept for a kid's movie, but good thing I'm not a writer at Pixar because that's exactly what we're going to get into. Perhaps certain people are chosen to come back as toys. Say it would be people who worked with kids or who are maybe social workers, people who knew how to properly take care of children and look out for them. So if there is a God in the Toy Story universe, he picks only the purest of heart to come back and take care of these kids. It seems that there are very few evil toys in the Toy Story universe, and they might have become corrupted after being transformed into toys. Maybe Woody is the soul of Buddha, who came back to make sure all the toys live in harmony. And that kind of rolls into my next point. Coming in at number 4, we have Woody is a guardian angel. Every time Andy or any of the other toys are in trouble, Woody will put his own life at risk to save them. Remember when Wheezy gets thrown into the garage sale and Woody finds a way to save him with a broken arm? So maybe that is his purpose and where his soul comes from. Woody literally is an angel. He was sent down to Earth to take the body of a toy and make sure that Andy grew up to be the amazing person he was meant to be. I mean, there are very few movie characters who have as pure a heart as Woody. Maybe he's getting directions from the big man upstairs himself. Coming at number 3, we have Woody is in the Illuminati. When we go back to the movie Toy Story 3, there are a lot of people who have pulled out some Illuminati imagery from certain scenes. For instance, when Woody and the gang are rescued by the alien toys using the claw, this isn't just a reference to one of the most classic jokes from the Toy Story universe, it's also pointing towards the Illuminati mythology that believes all members of the Illuminati will be rescued by aliens when our current civilization comes to an end. There's also Mrs. Potato Head walking around with one eye for most of the movie, and we all know that the Illuminati has an eye at the top of the pyramid as their main symbol. All of this imagery could be from the Illuminati using their dark magic to make sure that one of their most important members is always safe. I mean, if you were running a secret demonic club, wouldn't you want a talking toy to be one of your members? It would make your club way cooler than all the other clubs. Coming in at number 2, we have Woody is the leader of a toy army. Woody seems to be the leader of the toys wherever he goes. Every now and again, a toy will try to challenge his leadership, but by the end of the movie, they will either be working with him or disposed of. It happened with Buzz, it happened with the Prospector, and so many others. Woody might convince all these toys to work for him and might be the leader of the largest toy army by taking out as much of the competition as he can. Even going back to the Illuminati point, the green aliens come in to save Woody, so that means he has allies outside of the toys you traditionally see on screen. Also, if you are the leader of an army that no one knows about, I think that's a surefire way to get yourself inducted into the Illuminati. Coming in at number 1, we have Woody came from Andy's dad. Where did Woody come from? He's quite a dated toy. Throughout Toy Story 2, we learn about the Woody's Roundup origin. Woody's Roundup was a black and white TV show, meaning that Woody would have most likely come from the 1950s. So how did Andy get one of his favorite toys? When I was a kid, I wasn't rushing to the toy store to get the hottest gift from 50 years ago. Some people say that Woody was passed down to Andy after his dad passed away. This is why Andy cherishes the toy so much. This theory is backed up from the scene in Toy Story 2 where Andy's mom calls Woody a family possession. Alright everyone, that has been our list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I usually pick who has messaged most recently, so you can get into my DMs as many times as you want. If it takes me a little while to get back to, I am very sorry. I have a lot of these to do, and without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First on this list, we have Bobbert, and I absolutely love that name. Right after that, we have Bear, who looks like a big old chonky boy. Look at how chonky that dog is. Next up, we have Lucifer, who is such a cutie. Too cute for the name Lucifer. And then we have Osiris, who is just a little kitten in this picture. I love it so much. And to close it out, we have a picture of Obi, who is a big old floofer taking a good nap. All right, everyone, that is all we have for you today. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Che Dorena, and keep an eye out for your toys that might be alive.